Myofascial release is an important recovery method. Foam rolling is one of those tools you can use for it. Here's a full body myofascial release cycle with using the foam roller. Starting out hitting my thoracic spine, kind of loosening everything up. My arms are up overhead, trying to expose some of those muscles in my back. About 10 passes or so. And you can drop your hips to the ground, and now I'm extending my back over that foam roller, increasing some range of motion and working on thoracic spine extension, which is limited with a lot of people because we sit at desks. Then I roll over and I hit my lat. So I can move up and down, hitting as the lat inserts into the shoulder joint. And now I'm shearing across the muscle. Now transitioning to the other side. Hitting the lat with the foam roller helps open up that overhead position and reduce some of that tightness through the lat, which kind of limits your overhead shoulder flexion. Now transitioning to the lower body, we're going to hit the glute med and the glute max, as well as the piriformis muscle here. I'm mostly targeting the piriformis in this figure 4 method. So my hip is in external rotation and I'm hitting that muscle. I'm moving back and forth. You could also shear across the muscle, so moving laterally across the foam roller. So you're hitting both sides. Now remember, normal tissue shouldn't hurt when it's compressed. So if you find a gnarly spot, you want to hang out there. Here's that lateral motion, shearing across that muscle. Now we move to the lower extremities, starting with the hamstring. So we can start at the hip, moving down towards the knee. You can add in a second leg on top for a little bit more weight. Now you're hitting the back side of the leg, and you can start to roll over and hitting those lateral aspects, moving towards the IT band. Oh, on the full lateral side, we can hit that IT band, which gets pretty gnarly. This is important for knee and hip health. And as we feel like that area is good, we can roll and start hitting the aspects of our glute. Or excuse me, the aspects of our quadricep. Here I'm using a technique where I'm pinning the muscle down and extending and flexing, kind of pinning and tacking the muscle. Now you can shift to the inner thigh. Here's that pin and tacking maneuver again. Now you hit one side, you hit the other. So switching legs. Every time you find an area, you want to kind of spend a little bit of time, not too much, but about 10 passes, 10 to 15 passes is pretty good. Unless you have a gnarly spot, you can spend a little bit more time there. But not too much time. We don't want to bruise the tissues. Here I am adding that second leg to put a little bit more weight on my hamstring. There we go. Now I'm moving to the IT band. I'm going to roll around the quad. The areas that don't hurt are kind of ones that you can kind of move on, hit a little bit, and then move on. But those areas that are tender, kind of want to hit those. Those tender areas are kind of a sign that you have some pretty good adhesions and scar tissue that need to be broken down. You could also hit the calves if you need to, but here I'm transitioning to my feet. Our plantar, this is a good tool to help manage plantar fasciitis. Hitting that arch of the foot, moving back and forth. A lacrosse ball is also good for this, but a foam roller can also be used, especially if you have really tender feet. So here I'm just moving back and forth, now hitting the sides, the arch of my feet. You can also do some lateral shearing as well. That is a full body foam roller cycle that you can use. It takes about less than 10 minutes to get through.